From the slowest track on the schedule to the fastest, tonight it's Talladega Superspeedway for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series in Talladega, Alabama. My name is Brody Hanna, and in the booth tonight, as always, Richie Coy. Richie, we are getting ready for an exciting Superspeedway match here tonight, round 8 of the Sim Racing Points Truck Series, and it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, as you already mentioned, we're going from the slowest and the smallest track to the fastest and the biggest track, and two completely different styles of racing. So tonight we're going to see a lot of two wide action, a lot of drafting going on, a lot of teamwork going on. So yeah, it should be a ton of fun.
It should be fun for sure. We're going to see a lot of, like you said, a lot of drafting, a lot of teamwork playing out here at Talladega Superspeedway. Last week we had kind of a rough one. A lot of cautions, a lot of carnage, a lot of tore up trucks. They got them all fixed and got them back here in Talladega. So we'll see what these guys can do with them. And we're going to see a completely different style of racing for you guys not prepared for that. This is going to be some fast racing action here tonight. Got a pretty nice field. And we're going to be doing 75 laps tonight for 200 miles. Here at Talladega Superspeedway. We'll pull up our race info. Stage caution at lap 25. And
that's 33% of the race.
That's 33% of the race. And as you can see, it's a 2.66 mile Superspeedway oval. No lifting here, no braking here, except for pit road, which pit road could be a story too, Richie.
Yeah, absolutely. So with pit stops here, especially if we have to do a green flag pit stop, it could definitely separate the field as people come in. You may get some people overshooting their pits or having issues getting in, maybe getting a speeding penalty. So you might get a bunch of guys coming in as teammates and then going out as solo individuals because somebody might have overshot their pit or got a penalty. So pit road is key to definitely keeping a group together, especially during green flag stops.
Yeah, they are doing qualifying right now, setting the field for tonight's race. We'll talk a little bit about points. Getting towards the 2/3 part of the season, and the points battle is still something to kind of watch here. So pull them up. You got Nicholas Moreau leading the points, but he's got a hefty lead now. On second place, Lewis Meglin. James Morris in third, Michael Blackner fourth, and Ryan Chapman round out your top 5 in points. Still a battle there for second that is on for sure. But Nick has been kind of on a streak as of late.
Yeah, he's won 4 of the last 5 races with 3 in a row there for a stretch. So, yeah, he's built up that lead, but Talladega is a lead killer. You can come in with a 55-point lead and leave with a 10-point lead if things don't go your way here. So, again, we said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. Can anybody knock Nick off and bring the fight to him, because right now he's knocking out the competition, and the competition needs to start hitting back here.
Absolutely. And I tell you, there's going to be a lot of hitting going on next week as we head from Talladega Superspeedway back to a short track, Bristol Motor Speedway. Should be a lot of fun. I love that track, and they've done some graphical updates there, some here as well. We'll see tonight. Should be a lot of fun. And Rockingham is kind of an unknown. The trucks head back to Rockingham. Should be a lot of fun. And then we round out with Dover, Texas, and Kansas Speedway. So a couple fast ones there at the end. A lot left to be decided here once we leave Talladega.
Yeah, and there's a lot of racing left. So I mean, there's, as I'm like calling them, there's a lot of rounds left to give this knockout punch and bring the fight to Nick. But a lot of different styles of tracks here, so it's definitely going to be fun to watch who can come up and run well at each of these different styles of tracks.
Yeah, for sure, and we'll kind of see who can bring that fight to Nick. We saw, like you said, he had 4 of the last 5, I think you said, and yep. The only one he lost was a fuel mileage race, and that was against who was that against? That was TJ Bartell
2 races ago. Yeah, and he still got second, so it's not like it was a knockdown, drag out. He still got second that race. So, yeah, the competition, and we have the competition to do it. These guys are really good. We got a lot of good guys in this truck, so I know there's a lot of guys out there that can bring the fight to Nick. They just need to get there and get it done.
Yeah, as we finish up qualifying, we're getting ready for the race. Again, 25 laps for the race. Just reload my overlay right quick.
I got I got several cameras going on tonight, so I could try to watch as much of the action as possible. So I'm pretty happy over that. And then, so yeah, we're gonna get all the action covered tonight as we're going through qualifying. We got qualifying actually about to end here, so qualifying is over.
Wrapping up here. We're getting ready to start the race tonight. There's the overlay I was looking for. And we will start with the starting lineup tonight as they line up on the grid. On the pole tonight is going to be the 16 Toyota Robert Malikian for Elevated Esports. To his outside is going to be the 94. That is Bobby Terrell in the Chevrolet. Starting P3 is going to be the 42. That's Kyle Milliken, a past winner here. He does really well here. I think he's won multiple races here. And to his outside, good qualifying run for the 00 Ryan Lark for Carolina Boys. Starting P5 is going to be the 07 Brian Thorson, new team for that group. That's going to be a digital racing team. And to his outside is going to be the 52 of Scout Neff. Starting P7 is the 88 James Morris. To his outside, the winner 2 weeks ago, the 28 Toyota of TJ Bartel. Starting P9 is going to be the 18. That's Barry Kramer this week. And starting round out your top 10 is the 43 of Lewis Maglin.
Ryan Chapman slots into the 11th starting spot in number 10 with his teammate JP Burns to his outside in number 99. The 89 of Chris Gore starts 13th with Kobe Meese in the 8 starting 14th. Aaron Soucher comes up in the next row in the number 68 and 15th with William Lark in the 24 on his starting 16th. Michael Blackner starts 17th in the 22 with Dave Nestor in the 36th and 18th. Chris Beck in the 34 will be in 19th, and to his outside will be Keaton Pipe, but he'll be one of 3 people going to the rear for this race. So he's slotted to start 20th, and will be heading to the rear for the start.
And rounding out your finisher or qualifiers, 21st is going to be the 15, your points leader, Nicholas Moreau. 22nd is Chad Ling in the 3, that tied ride. Position 23 will go to the 11 of Tony Solari. You've got Joseph Burgess in P24. P25, the 31 of Jeff Chandler. P26 is going to be Brendan Polt. And there goes my starting grid all wonky. So 27th is got Corey Atkins, Alan Duranco, Wayne Grassi, Josh Mayhew, Markyle Henderson, and James Morris, all starting from the deep in the field.
So yeah, so just to follow up on that, you got the 71 of Brendan Polt and the 7 of Wayne Grassi also getting to the rear of the field for tonight. But wow, Nicholas Moreau, 21st. Not what I was expecting. It's going to be a heck of a fight for him to come up through the field.
Yeah, he's starting deep in the field. I expect some of the other guys to come from deep as well. Well, let's see if this... Not sure what...
Well, I mean, if this one track that you could start in the back and move yourself up, it's definitely Talladega. But he comes into this race with no teammates, not one teammate. That could be a very hard race for him.
And I think he mentioned that in his interview last week, that was one of the things he was a little concerned about, trying to find some help, somebody to work with here at Talladega.
The best way to get help in a situation like this is to break up the teams. If you could break up the teams, then they have to work with somebody other than their teammates, and that's something I think I did at the last plate race we had. Was I tried to break up as many teams as you could possibly do, so that they were forced to help you.
Trying to refresh the overlay here. It's kind of stuck in an odd position. Not sure. We having more issues with this. As always. Oh,
I see what you're saying. It's got the
yeah, I'm not really sure. Let's
and...
see if we can get that off the screen and start over here. The pace car is going to pull off turn 4 here. We're going to get ready for the green flag. Robert Malikian breaking them down. Bobby Terrell in the 94 P2. We'll get the display back up and going once it decides it wants to work. But through the tri-oval, it's something we didn't mention, but the start-finish line is through the tri-oval down towards turn 1. So a longer run from turn 4 to the start-finish line, waiting for the green flag. There they go. They get up and going. And green flag's out. We're underway here at Talladega.
They have assumed the position of 2x2x2 as they head into one, and neither line has an advantage as they're going through 1 and 2 here.
Like they're heading into Noah's Ark, 2x2 through 1 and 2 down the backstretch. The inside lane is lined up actually with teammates. You got Robert Maliki and Kyle Milliken lined up 1-2 teammates on the inside. You got Bobby Terrell getting pushed by the 00 Ryan Lark on the outside.
Yeah, as we mentioned, teammates are important. And also want to mention congrats to Robert Malikian on the pole. He's only driving with one hand tonight. The other hand is got, 5 or 6 pins in it from a snowboarding accident.
That's a good point. We'd have to talk to him if that's an advantage some way. Maybe he lost some weight doing that. I don't know.
He's got a bionic hand. He was able to hold the truck extremely still on qualifying with his bionic hand.
Over lap one, though.
Kudos to him.
Yeah, but lap one, Bobby Terrell is actually going to lead the first lap as they cross the finish line, the start-finish line.
And then loses a little bit. It's so difficult. It's very frustrating sometimes when you're up front here because you think you just want to go to the front, and then there's nowhere you can go without the help. We're catching Corey Atkins on the outside here?
Yeah, Corey just left the pits. I don't know if he's having connection issues or what, but started from the pits. They're going to go by him. 2x2. Looks like everybody gets by close, clean enough.
Yeah, they're still passing him towards the outside. They got 2 more cars to go before he could slot in. And, fortunately, he should be able to pick up the draft here. And even if we go to the stage, he could be the one that gets the lucky dog. So his race isn't over yet. So I don't know what happened there in the beginning, but definitely not over.
Yeah, James Morris also showing a lap down. So I'm not sure if he made the call to start the race as well. He's dropped off the pack, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyway, up front, it's still Bobby Terrell, Robert Malikian leading the outside and inside lines respectively. Everybody showing a little patience here as we get into the early parts of the race, and patience is going to kind of be a key here, and you're going to see it go away when we get close to lap 25, though.
Yeah, as we get closer and closer to the stage, that they're going to ramp up. The hits are going to get hitter. The hits are going to hit her. The hits are going to get harder. The pushing is going to get harder. And
was that a Tonyism? I think it's a Tonyism.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was a hitter. The hits are getting hitter.
The hits are going to get hitter.
I can confirm that the 88 did start from pit lane.
Oh, he did as well. Okay, all right. So, yeah. But he is not a lap down now. It was showing him a lap down earlier, but I can't trust it anyway. So.
Yeah, he's not a lap down, but he's by himself. So eventually he will be by himself. It will be, unfortunately. But unless we get a caution, he can catch back up again.
As they head down the backstretch, you see that outside lane really close, 1 and 2. He's getting a good push into the corner for the 00 of Ryan Lark. That outside lane now Bobby clears, but decides to stay up on the high lane. He's going to back up a little bit. And it'll just be back and forth with those pushes. You'll get out there and then you'll come back, and then the inside lane will get a run. It's kind of an accordion effect.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens here, because as the trucks get hot, so you can only push for so long before the truck in behind starts to overheat. So then he has to back off, and when he backs off, then the other lane takes off. So they overheat, and then it's back and forth. But or you get somebody who does what I like to call the leapfrog, where they get pushed out on the outside and then fall down in front of the inside lane.
Yep, you see out and back there, down the backstretch. So that's a large pack of cars that are still together. And the other thing is, if you make one small mistake, and these guys all know this, you make one small mistake up front and you start a wreck. I mean, it can take out several cars.
Yeah, so unlike someplace like Martinsville, where there were a lot of 1 or 2 car accidents, Talladega doesn't breed 1 or 2 car accidents. It breeds the big one. So, yeah, you can have somebody make one minor mistake and wipe out half the field. So it's definitely tense racing for sure.
You saw him get a little wiggly there, a little shaky there on the outside lane. Before Terrell getting that push from the 00, it's going to back them up just a little bit. And not far back in that lane, you can see a teammate, the 24 in that orange Clemson Tigers paint scheme. He's wanting to get with his teammate up there in the 00 as well. Those guys, we saw them at Daytona. Those Carolina boys, and we saw Corey start from the pits, but the Carolina boys team, they dominated the first part of the race at Daytona. So I look for those guys to be strong here as well.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Corey, even though he's a lap down, he's only 2 cars behind his second teammate there. So if they could hook up, they can possibly do something. But they can't do anything if they're separated. That's for sure. Can't do it.
And all the other drivers say you got to keep them separated.
Oh my, he's singing now, folks. He's singing.
I wouldn't say that's singing. I don't.
That's good because I wouldn't either. But then again, I'm not going to.
Oh
because
yeah,
I see.
I see.
If I sang, the 9 people that are watching would all immediately just disappear.
Yeah. Speaking of watching, if you're watching out there and want to give us a shout out, make sure to do so in chat. Thanks for watching. Hope you're following along, enjoying it. Tell us who you're pulling for, what you're looking for, and give us a prediction on what lap the big one's going to happen. So.
It's going there.
Yeah. So we'll see who's right. You got a number for that?
Me, and when the big one's going to happen?
Yeah.
I've seen it happen after the stage caution comes out.
That's true.
But I'm gonna definitely say I don't think the big one's gonna come out until the white flag lap.
All right, I'm gonna go lap 23.
You think lap 23?
It's a good number. It's a good number. 23 is a good number.
Wow, all right.
But
I picked 19. I picked 19 because that apparently that's kind of rough. That number's kind of rough lately, but it's too far away from the stage to make any meaning.
Well, the 19's not out there, so you ain't gonna worry about that this week. But
that's true.
Just kidding. Yeah, no, 23. I think coming to the stage, things get ramped up. You got a lot of cars still in the drafts. And if it doesn't happen, then you're probably right to happen towards the end of the race. But I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of energy in the pack, and if they can keep it together, I would prefer it not to be accurate. But I just feel like that the energy is going to ramp up. You're going to have a lot of cars still in the pack here trying to get their stage points, and 23 is a good number.
So, honestly, I've never really been a fan of the stage points, but it puts a different spin because normally for these races, I would like to ride around and just make it to the end of the race. And I don't need to lead laps. I don't need to be up front. I just need to be in a position to be able to race at the end of the race. With the stage, it puts such a different emphasis on it that you have to make your moves and you have to try to stay up front for the entire race because, like I said, Nicholas is in the back. So if Nicholas doesn't get any stage points and the stage winner gets the 10 points...
Got the 52 flashing.
2 blinking.
Yeah.
So that's 10 points you could pick up on Nick like that. So the stage definitely puts added pressure on to ramp up at the end of the stage. But you don't want to wreck. You don't want to wreck and take yourself out.
You got a good point too. And the thing is, when they're riding 2x2 here, there's really nowhere to. I mean, there's one option.
Nowhere to go.
There's one option. You can make it 3 wide, but there really is nowhere to go. There's no way to make up positions, and if you do make it 3 wide, there's a good chance you're going backwards just because there's not enough energy in that top lane. So yeah, you kind of get stuck here early on in qualifying, and that's the good thing about after the stage. You'll have a pit stop to kind of sort things out and maybe make up some positions and mix things up a little bit. But here it's a straight race at lap 25, and if you start poorly, it's really hard to get stage points here.
It is, and what may end up happening is somebody in the mid-pack gets a little frustrated and puts his nose into a 3-wide situation, and works, doesn't work. It's, when you put yourself in a 3-wide position, you're kind of just taking, a gamble at whether or not it's going to work or not.
Yeah, hence the call, my prediction of maybe an accident. Yeah, because I do feel like that there's a lot of frustration that builds up in the first run because there's nowhere to go, there's nothing you can do, and next thing you know, you're forcing something that can't work or doesn't work, and that's So they are catching a lap car. That's James Morris they're catching. Yeah.
And we have one other car off that we got off the pace somewhere, which I hadn't go back and look. Was the 8 of Colby Meese. So Colby is at the end of the backstretch right now, where the pack's coming out of turn 2. So they'll be catching him before the end of the stage as well.
Yeah, he'll go down as well. And that's going to be a battle for those lap cars to get a lap back, because between the 88 and the 9, the 88 is going to want to try to sort, kind of file in here somewhere close so that when they catch the 9, he can go by him. But at the same time, you don't want to cause an issue here getting lapped.
No, exactly. And it's always fun. It's always again, everything here is just so stressful because when you catch the lap cars, lap cars we ask to stay to the outside and let the two lanes go under them, but everything is just so close. It's it's tense. Everything's tense at this type of racing.
There he does, and he does a great job of staying right up there against the wall. It's tough 3 wide, and that's another thing about being 3 wide. If you're running 3 wide, you catch a lap car. Well, then it gets really tough.
Yeah, and that's when that's when the leaders get on the radio and they're like, "Lap car, get out of the way."
And you're panicking too as a leader too. I've been in those situations. You kind of panic because you see him coming. It's like, "Oh no, no!" And there's nowhere for him to go. You know that. But even as a leader, you're trying to make moves, especially at the end of the race, and you see something like that. It's just there's again panic sets in, and that can lead to some issues as well. You see the 24 starting to duck out back there. I thought he was. He pulls it back in line.
The worst place to be when you're doing that is the truck pushing because you can't see anything. So if the lap car does anything and you need to make an evasive maneuver, the leader can see what's going on, but the guy behind him pushing, man, you can't see nothing at all. So yeah, it gets frustrating when or not frustrating, but it gets tense when you're trying to lap somebody. But when you're pushing somebody, that's even worse.
Right on board with the 24 William Lark again. We talked about like he was kind of ducking out, kind of testing the waters of a third lane. Either that or there was a checkup maybe, and he was avoiding contact. But either way, it looked like he was looking to the outside. Like I said, I know he's wanting to get up there to his teammate, but there's really nothing. There's not much you can do at this point till people start trying to make those moves as he does go up the track, and now he pulls back in line.
Yeah, did we start the race yet? Because they're still chasing around here.
Yeah, I know.
Lap 15 laps into the race, we're still 2 by 2, and it's almost lap. We're getting to lap 23. We're almost to lap 23, so we'll see what happens.
Get a good shot of Kyle Milliken's engine. We can inspect it here. Unfortunately, it's on the gearbox of the 16 through the front of the car there. There's the front of the Toyota, the 43 or 42.
Wait a minute. Are we inspecting his motor to make sure he's not? He doesn't have any extra.
Make sure it's legal.
What did they? I heard that Kevin Harvick they actually would loosen the bolts on the intake manifold, so that when he pushed the throttle to full throttle, it would actually lift up the intake.
Yeah.
It would lift up the intake and get more air into the motor.
It's crazy what you'll do for a few horsepower.
Well, at a track that's nothing but restrictor plate horsepower, but man, that's it's cheating. Oh, they're catching Kobe Mice here on the backstretch. It's cheating, but what the engineering process it was to do that is just boggles my mind.
Right on board with the Kobe Mice machine. You see how much faster those trucks are in the draft versus one that's riding by himself. He's going to try to find the place to slot in line here.
Nice job, everyone. Nice job.
Yeah, everybody makes it.
That still leaves Corey Atkins in the lucky dog position.
Yeah, we'll keep up with that and see who actually gets the lucky dog, because that could be huge. Some of these guys may have to take the wave around to get back on the lead lap and hope for a caution. But even if you do that, then you're short on fuel, and that messes things up there too. So we'll see how that works out for sure. Lap 17 of 75, racing lap 25 for the stage break. The Sim Racing Points Truck Series here at Talladega Superspeedway. Putting on a heck of a show so far, side by side. Nobody can break out. Nobody breaks away. And honestly, they're in the same lane they started up front anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there's much passing that has gone on. In fact, actually, just looking at it, there's one or two here and there. But you got guys mid-pack that are racing and enjoying the sights and scenes of Talladega Superspeedway. But you got the guys up front that are pushing and trying to pull the lanes along. They are tense. They're up on the wheel because this is. Yeah, I keep saying the word tense over and over again, and I can't stress enough on the type of racing. I mean, normally when you're like at a place like Martinsville, it's just everything's happening so quick. But here, you're tucked up on guys, you're pushing guys, you're watching the water temperature, the oil temperature. There's just so much going on here. It looks like it's calm, but there's anything but calm in these trucks right now.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most tense things you could do is right up front in the whole race, one of these super speedways race. I've done that before. I actually prefer, I mean, until the invention of stages, I would have preferred to just ride in the back and then show up at the end. But you can't do that now with the stage.
Nope.
Because you need those stage points. You know, you're giving up a lot of points if you don't get up there and race for it.
And you could lose a lot of points. I mean, it's up to a 10-point swing. You know, that's huge. I mean, we only get 40 points to win the race. So that's a quarter of the points. Yeah, a quarter of the points that you can get just within the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of points on the line here for the stage. And a stage win, that's a playoff point. I know we hadn't talked playoffs all that much. We will in the second season when things start getting down to it. But that's a playoff point for winning the stage as well, which could be huge later in the season if you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Every point counts. It doesn't matter whether it's a stage point, playoff point. It's all important, especially when you do get to the playoffs. You get the win, or you get in the top 16 towards the end of the second or B season. Yeah, it can tighten it up, make the difference between making a round or not making a round.
Well, you get bonus points too. You get a bonus point for leading the most laps. You get a bonus point for leading a lap, and I'm sure that's gonna kind of think, you know, it's gonna play into some guys' thought process as well here at getting towards the stage. Is you want to get that, you know, lap led, but then again, you don't want to take you don't want to lose 30 points that you could have had by trying to get 1 point.
Right, and I've done that before, where
Yeah,
I've tried to lead a lap in a race and totally screwed up my race, and I got that bonus point for leading the lap, but then finished like 12th because I totally screwed myself on a pit stop or something like that to get that extra point.
I mean,
so, yeah.
Along those same lines, if you run an 11th or so here and you're like, I don't think I'm going to get stage points, you may decide to drop out of this group and ride in the back to save truck. I've done that before, and that's worked out. But you may want to drop out and say, okay, this is getting a little too dicey. Let me get out of this group so I can save my truck and race later on, because I'm not going to get stage points anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of different options that you can have depending on where you're at in the racetrack, but that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff going on in these trucks, and remember that we're not NASCAR. We don't have anybody up on the pit box, so we have to not only drive the trucks, but we actually have to crew chiefs ourselves. So you got to think of all the strategies that you could possibly have as you're in the moment trying to race as well.
Saw Kyle Milliken blinking there too. So we got two trucks on the inside lane there blinking, the 42 and the 52, both blinking a little bit on the inside lane, but they are hanging pretty tough out there. We come to lap 22. We're getting close to lap 23.
Uh-oh. D-lap.
So 22 laps here. Racing to lap 25 for the stage break. Will they make it? I hope so. I shouldn't say will they make it. I plan for them to make it, but it's going to start getting a little dicey here.
So we have a couple guys in chat. One guy's rooting for TJ Bartel, and we have Scott Wilkerson out there that is pulling for his old Legends teammate Barry Kramer. So we got a couple fans out there rooting for TJ and for Barry Kramer, as we are about to hit lap 23, the lap before the stage break at lap 25.
Absolutely. He was asking about the stage 25. As I just said, 25 laps to the lap 25 is a stage break. So lap 22, lap 23, here we go. Lap 23, only a couple laps to the stage break. The guys up front. Oh, we see one guy
Dave Messer on lap 23. What
at the
just
line.
happened?
He looks like he's got an issue with hardware, because he's stopped down there.
Pulled straight off.
Interesting. I
think he's had issues with his monitor going black before. Well, you kind of called it. It wasn't the big one. It was the
wreck.
Little one.
It was a wreck, I guess. All right, we're coming to start lap 24. It's going to be 2 to go to the stage here as they cross the line up front. It's Robert Maliki and Bobby Terrell still leading their respective lines. Robert Maliki getting a big push from the 42 of Kyle Milliken, a teammate down the bottom. Bobby Terrell with the 00 Ryan Lark on the outside. Oh, and we do have a car around behind them. That is one of the lap cars. This is James Morris. But he
Is
keeps
that
it
the
rolling.
88? Yep, the 88. They're going down into turn 3, and the double zeros pushing the Bobby Terrell in the 94. Right now, it looks like they might take the lead going into 3 here.
Here comes that inside lane. They got a good run down the backstretch. 16's going to pull even with him. Robert Malikian on the inside. Bobby Terrell on the outside, battling for position as they come to the start of the final lap of the stage.
Oh, JP. They got 2 elevated esports going to the outside. JP Burns and Ryan Chapman trying to make it 3 wide going into turn 1.
Here comes JP Burns on the outside, and that white truck, the 99, with help from Ryan Chapman in the 18. Or, sorry, the 10. 3 wide.
Yeah,
Now,
it might work. It might work.
They've got to run down the backstretch, see if they can get there. That's hurt the outside lane, though. Bobby Terrell struggling for speed there, but he does pull even. Getting help from the double zero. Here comes the 99. JP Burns to the outside of the second row.
This is good going, guys. This JP and Ryan going right to the front on the outside.
Well, they're going to have a good run.
Yeah, 3 wide here going to the checker, to the stage caution.
Are they going to be able to pull this off as they go through the tri-oval? JP Burns pulls out in front. Coming to the line, it's going to be
JP
Burns taking the stage win.
Wow, what a job.
And caution flies for the stage. JP Burns takes home the win of the stage there in the 99.
Awesome job. Looks like JP Burns just beat Bobby Terrell. Robert Malikian 3rd at your stage. Ryan Chapman 4th. Ryan Lark 5th. Kyle Malikian 6th. Wow, he was running 2nd on the inside lane. He ends up 6th. William Lark 7th. TJ Bartell comes home 8th. Brian Thorson 9th, and Michael Blackner rounds out your top 10 in the stage there. What a job, man. That was awesome.
Just rewinding it here to see this finish, this close finish for the stage. And JP Burns just ekes out Bobby Terrell there.
Yeah, I have .005 at the line.
And we didn't wreck at the stage. Everybody
that was
did a good
awesome.
job. Yeah.
So I had .005 and .032 for the top 3.
That's crazy. You could be running in the second lane second place on the inside lane and finish 6th in the stage. That could be disappointing, but and I think it's actually what Kyle Milliken did. He's going
I'm actually a little confused because Bobby Terrell is still leading.
Yeah, because he was leading when the caution flew, I bet. So they had to run to the line. Yeah. So whatever, we score at the line, but unfortunately the caution flies afterwards. So yeah. So congratulations, JP Burns. That outside lane, that move with 2 laps to go was the move, the way to go.
Well, and you got to give credit to Ryan Chapman because he was a heck of a pusher behind JP. And I think the key, even though the 2 of them worked very well, was the 2 cars behind them went up with them, and it broke up that middle lane enough that they had enough energy on the 3rd lane to actually pull that off. But great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
All around.
Yeah, everybody did a good job. It was good at the end. I knew it was going to ramp up. Had that 3rd lane working, and it worked out. So I'm sure everybody took notice of that, and I'll keep that in their hat for the end of the race here. Leaders on pit road. We're going to have pit stops for the first time here at Talladega Super Speedway, and I want to update you and tell you the lucky dog goes to, well, I'm looking. It was like Corey Atkins.
Corey Atkins, yeah.
There he goes. Round pace car. He's going to get his lap back.
So I did happen to see the 00 miss his pit stall. So he's going to go from behind Bobby Terrell to the back of the pack. And unfortunately, it looked like there was also maybe some contact there at the end of pit road.
Yeah, I was kind of watching that. They were kind of close.
So Bobby Terrell comes out, and JP Burns actually hits the brakes to avoid him, and Ryan Chapman got into the back of Burns. Looks like there might be some damage on the 99 there. Maybe even the 10's front nose.
Go back and look and see if we can see that on pit road there.
90, 94, 99, and 10. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing damage on the 99's tail. Trunk deck. Or
Ooh, yeah.
tailgate. Tailgate, that's what I'm thinking of.
So a push when he didn't need it. He got a good push from when he needed it.
Not when he didn't need it.
I don't think he needed it on pit road.
So the 00 missed his pit stall and went from running second behind Bobby Terrell there to all the way to he's actually 28th at the moment. He's gone all the way down. So not a good turn of events for the 24 of Lark.
Yeah, pitting is going to be critical, especially a green flag pit stop. If we have that, we're going to back it up here and look at the 00 and see exactly what.
Yeah, sorry. The 00 of Lark. I'm sorry. I got confused with the 24 there for a second. There's there guys going down pit road?
Oh, he locks it up, I think, coming in, hits the inside wall, actually. So he's going to have some damage to fix, which is why he sat there, decided to take tires and fix that damage, because that was a pretty good whack with the wall there.
Got a bunch of guys coming down pit road, I guess maybe to top off, including Ryan Chapman and Michael Blackner. The 24 of William Lark is back in again. The 88 of James Morris, who's still a lap down. Brendan Polt, Wayne Grassi. So a bunch of guys heading down pit road, I guess, to top off before the green flag here.
Well, you never know, and it is a long way. You know, we got what, 45 laps to the end of this. You will have another pit stop, and we'll just have to see how things unfold. But again, being at the back is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, who can you tell me where J.P. Burns was till he pulled out and won the stage? I mean, he was back there in the
He
back.
had to be like he had to be 11th or 12th.
So he did the opposite of what I suggested, and it worked out for him. You know, I was like, if you're 11th, you might want to get out of the scrum. No, I'm going to the front, and it worked out. Hey.
Yeah, lots of different options. There's lots of different options. So with these pit stops now, we have the teammates that were back-to-back for the entire stage are now separated, although there's actually two teammates on the outside, two different teammates on the outside, but the pit stops have now shaken the deck up a little bit. So we have some new dancing partners out there. We'll have to see who dances with who.
You got a lot of elevated up there. You got J.P. Burns, Robert Malikian, and Kyle Milliken in the top four. Bobby Terrell out there on an island by himself. You got T.J. Bartell back in fifth. Lewis Maglin, Brian Thorson, Scott Neff, Joseph Burgess, and our man Tony Solari cracks the top 10.
Spicy himself. And right behind him, Jeff Chandler and Nicholas Moreau. So definitely a bit of a shakeup there.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about Moreau, but he's 13th now. So he's about halfway through the pack here. We come down to the restart. Pace car's off. They enter the restart zone, waiting for Bobby Terrell to launch. And there we go. We're green flag racing once again here at Talladega.
Much better start for the outside lane there. They look like they're a little bit more together than the bottom lane was, but teammates have a handy to do that. But the bottom lane's coming back there. So again, nobody's really got an advantage here, especially in the start of one of these things, as you have to come up through the gears.
The top 9 cars kind of pull away from everybody else. That'll come back together. That won't last long as they head down the backstretch. The draft takes effect. Everybody coming back together. 2 by 2 down the backstretch. You still have Bobby Terrell out front on the inside lane. Robert Malikian leading that outside lane. And you got J.P. Burns and T.J. Bartell on the bottom with those guys.
I'm curious to see if there's any issues with the 99. I know it's the tailgate, but I'm wondering if there's going to be any issues with the 99 truck there with that damage. Looks like Lewis Megalin in the 50 and then the 52 are trying the outside to go 3 wide here.
Boy, they are not organized right now up top, and you see the 42 and the 99 not really together there as they head into turn 1. I wonder if they're diagnosing that issue at the 99 and wondering if it might be better that the 42 leads, but they're going to have to figure that out.
That was the dancing partners that I was talking about. Everything gets straight shaken up after the pit stops because nobody's with who they were prior to the pit stops.
Look at
As
that.
they are going 3 wide into turn 3 here.
That's a cluster of trucks heading into turn 3. Top 4, top 5 now, single file. The race is for 6th on back. It's Tony Solari on the inside. You got the 99 of JP Burns in the middle. On the outside there, a name we haven't called yet, but he's had a great season so far, Lewis Meglin in the 43.
Yeah, I'm really rooting for him to finish one of these off. He's been the unfortunate recipient of a couple late race issues after having really strong runs. So I'm really hoping he can finish this one out and have a good finish tonight.
The 43, the 52 of Scout Neff, and I think it's Nicholas Moreau behind him. Those three pulled out, or went around that outside lane, and is now the outside lane leaders as they pull even with Bobby Terrell going down the backstretch. Those trucks have a lot of speed.
Yeah, and they're not getting much help from back behind them. There's a bit of a gap back to the 4th truck on the outside, which would be JP Burns. I'm thinking that that damage on the back of JP Burns is not making him push at the front of a line very well, as they have caught up to the top of the outside lane there.
Yeah, now we got a little more organized and kind of what we saw at the first run there. Now they are 2x2 all the way back through there as everything kind of comes back together.
Just an update on Corey Atkins, who was our lucky dog. He looked like he might have got some kind of penalty because he had to go back in to serve back in the pit. So now he's back to 2 laps down. In fact, I think he's still on pit road. Nope, he's out.
He just rolled off. But yeah,
he's back.
You still got the 8 of Colby Meese, the 88 of James Morris, a lap down, but
get the lap back just to bring him back, just to take him back away again.
You see the 52. I don't know if that was a move intentionally, but the 52 Scout Neff moved high coming off the corner, looking to the outside of the 43 of Lewis Meglin.
I think maybe he might be trying to cool that truck off a little bit. He's been pushing pretty hard, but you definitely don't want to push that right rear. That's how you turn somebody down. So if you want to try to cool your truck off, you just need to back off a little bit.
Boy, they're having some organization issues on the top there, though, because that has slowed that outside lane down a good bit. First 3 or 4 trucks now clear of the outside lane, but they do get some momentum going down the back.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't TJ and Bobby working on the same team nowadays? Or is that Bobby that's down there?
Bobby's on his own team, but I think he's kind of an affiliate with Jeff Chandler.
What, Jeff Chandler? Yeah, because they're working together. So he's not completely on his own island out there, but close enough. In fact, actually, where is Jeff Chandler? Jeff Chandler's back there. He's about 8 rows back there on the bottom.
15th. Yeah, we haven't really called his name either. 15th for Jeff Chandler back there in the mid-pack. One of those guys didn't have a great qualifying run. He's going to have to work his way towards the front. Still a long way to go, though.
Long way to go. Long way to go. Because these laps, 50, you're talking about 50-second laps here. I mean, you got 40 laps. That's 40 minutes almost just in lap time itself, minus anything else. Long race.
Long time.
Long race.
All right.
This is one of them tracks when you're running around all tensed up, and it's just like, all right, come on, it could be over.
Yeah.
We got half the race to go yet. Oh my God. It's like, yeah.
Right on board with the 52. That's Scout Neff pushing the 43. Lewis Meglin around.
We have a Doyle Lawrence sighting in chat. He said he was a little late to the party.
Better late than never.
How's it go, man?
Hey, you haven't missed the big one. So there's that.
And did anybody wake you up last week? Because you said somebody needed to wake you up at 10 to go.
He probably just woke up.
Or maybe.
He's hibernating.
Oh, that 52 is flirting. I don't know what he's flirting with, but he's flirting with it. He's flirting with something.
And now he's pulled out. I don't know if he is cooling off. I don't know what, but it is causing those guys to lose ground every time he does that. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he is trying to cool the truck off, maybe. I don't know. But
that's usually when I try to cool the truck off like that, I go to the left because if you hit somebody in the left rear quarter panel,
Well,
it doesn't really upset the truck as much. But
I hope you don't go to the left when you're on the top lane.
well, a little bit. I'm not talking like a direct like left turn, Clyde.
Seemed like your Cup car had a hard time going left.
Only a couple times. 248 times it did pretty good. There was those 2 laps that will live in infamy. But, yeah.
What is it?
Go ahead.
He says, we kid because we care. Is that...
You only make fun of the ones you love. That's why we all pick on Tony, because we love him so.
That's awful strong, but I'm just kidding.
I told you, everything's tense here. Everything gets tensed up
It's
at Talladega.
tense.
So
I tell you what, though, that outside lane's lost some help. There's only 3 cars really right up there together, and the top 2 hanging together. But they're, as much as he's off the back of the 43, they're actually doing a pretty good job of staying there.
They are, and I think that's part of that is because the bottom lane is just as disheveled as the top lane is. There's gaps. Not all the cars are nose to tail.
Are you trying to be like
So
Kevin Harvick? Throw those words out there at us.
What, the vocabulary words?
Disheveled.
I can't. It's what happened. It's what came to mind. I can't. You can't.
It's perplexing.
Yeah, because you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Sometimes it gets me in trouble. So
yeah, what was the one earlier?
Sometimes hit the hitter or something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to watch back. Tony will love that. Speaking of Tony, he's still riding in the top 10 back there, P9. Ooh, Cal Milliken flashing once again on the outside lane. That can be very, very distracting.
Yep, distracting for sure. We got Aaron Satcher up there on the outside in the 68. It's and Markyle Henderson right behind him. So we got some new guys up there in the top lane trying to push that forward. Good for those guys. Good for everybody out there. So far, so good. I mean, everybody's been playing really nice. It looks like the 52 has
decided to go
now
by.
Gone around. Yeah, it's time to go.
52 around him. He's got help from the 15 of Nicholas Moreau on the outside lane.
Ah, poor Lewis, man. Nobody's going with poor Lewis. When he said, screw you guys, I'm going to go back up in the middle all by myself.
Woo! He had one almost get the wall there. Now he's got the help. There's only 2 up top now. The 42 of Kyle Milliken goes with him, leaving the 52 and the 15 now by themselves. How quickly things change.
Yeah, that was, it went from, yay, I'm going to the top into, oh, I'm going backwards.
Ooh, but he's got a blinking Kyle Milliken behind him. How much help is he going to be, really?
He'll be good help when he's there.
Yeah, but the
not
third
so much
car.
When he's not.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would not want to be following a blinker.
They are catching a car up here.
That's the one of Corey Atkins.
As they're still 3 wide back there. We're kind of keeping an eye on this.
They are
3 wide.
Oh, this could get messy. And that 3 wide doesn't look like it's going away. So hopefully Corey can see that in his mirror. And everybody makes it without any issues. But it looks like Corey is up top.
Up top. So this could get...
This could get ugly. Nope. He's diving to the bottom.
Yeah. Smart move. Smart move. Yeah.
Good on him. That could have got ugly quick.
I will say, though, if you're going to catch somebody and be 3 wide and try to go 4 wide, the trial was probably the best place for it. They were lining up pretty good for that, but definitely a shout out to Corey for realizing that and letting these guys race.
I know it's not the particular race that he had in mind when he probably took the green flag, but still a good, classy move for sure. The outside's hanging on there, the 3 wide.
It is, just with 2 cars, but I wonder how much of that is the 42 blinking, too, is helping modulate that, although they're hanging with the inside lane pretty good, too, so just really interesting. You just hope, though, that blink doesn't suddenly send the car up the track, or, you know what I mean? Like, you can blink and come back and end up in a different spot on the track, and it could be really messy.
Yeah, you blink into the car that you were either side by side with or in front and back with. Just makes it that much more tense.
I thought we had the new flag for connection issues. Is that just official? That doesn't apply to hosted?
Yeah. Yeah, there was one of the notes that they put that one of the side notes that it's for official races only. I kind of wish they did it for us, but then again, I wouldn't want to be the guy running
Yeah.
second or third.
Yeah, everybody around the
Blink.
42 wishes we had that, but I guarantee the 42 is glad we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Because you never want to be that guy. What happened to you? I got the, what is it? It's like a black and orange flag or something now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The lag flag.
There you go. It's catchy. Still 3 wide though for what is this, fourth place? Top three's kind of pulled away, but fourth place still 3 by 3 for fourth through ninth. Yeah, right there.
There's a gaggle of them for sure. But Doyle wants to know why TJ's not driving the Logitech paint. He's in the black coffee paint. I don't know.
I saw that too. I'm not really sure. He is in the black. Was it Black Rifle or
Black Rifle coffee.
Well,
Black Rifle.
Maybe
coffee.
chose the wrong car as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely different paint scheme. Not in the Logitech car for sure tonight. Not in that blue.
Nope, looks blue. The baby blue. But Nicholas Moreau looks like he just found a hole in the middle lane here and left Scout up there on the outside all by himself.
Ooh, Scout trying to get that side draft, getting kind of close. Got to be careful. At some point, you have to kind of just. Oh,
not clear. He's got a hole now. Come on down, buddy. There you go. He's got it.
And we are back to 2x2. And look who's leading the outside lane still. 43. Lewis Maglin. And on the bottom lane, nothing much has changed. Bobby Terrell continued to be pushed by the 16 of Robert Malikian. And I got to say, and I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on wood. This is a completely different race than we saw last week.
Well, yeah, a completely different race, for sure. It's totally different style of racing, a lot bigger track. Not you don't have to use the brakes. There's no dive bombing going on, and the trucks are handling a whole lot better here. Not a lot of self spins and stuff. So, yeah, thank God for that. It is even if we get a caution or two, it's still at this point we've made it way farther into the race without any issues. So, kudos to the guys.
Just watching from across the track, this really you can kind of see the runs generate with this camera down the backstretch. You can see who's getting a run, who's falling back. It's always kind of fun to see the runs and the way they develop with pushes from behind and everything. But I'm telling you what, we are lap 44 of sorry, I can't see. Lap 40, is it 44? Yeah, 44 of 75. So
46.
Oh, yeah, 47.
40-something. We're in the 40s.
So we're getting close to halfway in this run, and I'm sure guys are starting to think about pit stops. I know there's a certain someone that always is pretty adamant about pitting early, and if I know him like I know him, they're already talking about maybe getting that pit stop out of the way.
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about how these guys are still 2x2, and I'm a little surprised that we're not getting that big freight train single lane on the bottom as everybody starts to think about pit stops, because it is very difficult to pit from the outside lane with people still underneath you. So, but yeah, short pitting, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you go in with 4, you need to come out with 4, and you need to come out with all 4 of you guys together. The sooner you can get hooked up, linked up together, the better you guys are. If you lose a guy, if you come out spread out, it doesn't matter when you pit, it's not going to work.
Yeah, right on board with the 11 of Tony Solari, that full throttle television paint scheme. Looking pretty sporty. Currently running P11. He's right there in the mix of the top 10. He's the one I was talking about. He's always talking about how pitting early is kind of important. So we'll see when they decide to dive off and who decides to dive off with them. Or maybe somebody else decides to take advantage of that.
Is that a Victory Fuel logo on the front of his car? In front of the hood?
I believe it is.
When he goes in for that pit stop, he should pick up one of them things.
Speaking of Victory Fuel, we'll take this opportunity to remind you guys to go to drinkvictory.com. Use code FTSR for 10% off your order. Grab you some Victory Fuel, some great stuff. Sponsor of the Victory Fuel Cup Series on Monday nights here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. Great people, great product. Really something, we've strongly gotten behind just because of the. Oh, we see some movement on the apron there in front of us, but great people, great product. It's definitely something you want to check out. Support a good family-run company. Read about how they got started. That's always kind of an interesting story. When I read that, I was like, man, that's kind of inspirational, to be honest with you. So it's cool to see somebody like that, Kevin Swindell, be able to develop that, come up with that, and put that out there, and not only develop a product and put a product out, but it's a refreshing product. It's a healthy product and refreshing product. So
right.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, and it's, in today's day and age, it's not full of all of the corn syrup or the high fructose sugar. In fact, there's no sugar in it at all. Electrolytes. So yeah, it's nice to see somebody do something like that and do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, we don't get to talk about them that much with the Sim Racing Points Truck Series, but do want to give them a shout out for sure. Big supporters of what we do here, and we support them back because I'm telling you, just like I said, they've been great to work with. I know you've worked with them probably more than I have one-on-one, so you have more of a hands-on experience even than I do.
Yeah, I actually got to spend a little bit of time with Joe and Kevin at the Chili Bowl this last winter, and man, you want to see somebody who is super smart with a race car, go watch Kevin Swindell work. He is. It's amazing to watch, and he does it from his wheelchair, and when he's working, it's just he's awesome. He does everything he needs to do, but he's so super smart, especially about the dirt race and stuff. He is just amazing with those midgets.
I think I might have saw some hands out the window going down the backstretch. We might be getting ready for pit stops here. We'll see if anybody peels off. It looks like they were trying to get in line. You're starting to see the outside lane kind of fade. We'll see if anybody ducks down this time. No. Faking me out.
Something that we need to talk about is they're just going to come in or they should just come in and get fuel only here. We don't need to change tires here. All that does is waste time on the racetrack. So fuel only stops.
We may see some take tires and thinking that there's some advantage there too, as far as getting some extra grip out there on the track. Although usually it's kind of negated by the time you can save by saving tires, or even two tires. I mean, two tires is an option here as well. We've seen work before. What we got to watch out though for is how slippery the exit is. After you come into those hot tires, you pick up all those marbles coming into pit road. Down pit road, you don't want to slide the tires, but coming out of the pits, all that dirty track down there, the hot tires, it gets really, really tough coming out of the pits.
Yeah, and it seems to be worse on old tires than it is on the new tires too. So anybody who comes down and doesn't get new tires has to definitely watch out for that. But yeah, I mean, you can get. It really depends on how much fuel you got to put in the car. If you got to put a lot of fuel in the car, you can spend the time to get tires, because as long as the tires are done by the time the fuel's done, you're not wasting any time. But if you're waiting for tires when the fuel guy's done, you're just losing You're just losing distances on the track.
You talked about the early on. You were talking about that conveyor belt, that one lane around the track. Looks like we're starting to get that. We got 4 guys on the outside. Everybody else is right around the bottom.
Yep, that's where everybody's starting to get that position.
Whoa! The 43 gets turned by the 42, and then the outside lane is collected. And now the other trucks are coming in, and we've got more carnage. But all 4 trucks that were riding on that outside lane, unfortunately, are collected in that. First caution of the night for incident. And, just a late move by the 42, and the 43 came down to cover it, and it was too late.
Oh, and the 42 came sliding down off the bank and collected a couple other guys that were riding around the back. Although it looks like it was just 1 or 2 cars. The 89 looks like he gets taken by the 43.
Well, let's look at it in the Best One Tire and Auto Care Instant Replay, who got a lot of play last week. The 42 looks inside 43. Ooh, that's close. But as it collects the 4 cars up top, 42 comes down. Everybody scatters. Who's that got a piece of it? There's a black truck that got a piece of that.
Oh, Aaron. It was the 62 of Markyle Henderson and the 68 of Aaron Satcher were involved in that too, because they were all fouling up there on the outside lane.
So if you're right on board with the 42 of Markyle, see it happen. Smoke. Oh, a little airborne by the 42. You said,
and then it looks like the only other. Sorry, the 68 of Aaron Satcher was the 4th one in there.
Who was somebody got a piece of it on the bottom of a black truck?
On the bottom.
Yeah, when he slid down.
Oh yeah, the 18 of Barry Kramer. Yeah, and then the 89, the 43 kind of slides down, and the 89 of Chris Gore gets collected. Those are the only other 2 trucks that looks like they were collected. So not necessarily the big one, but definitely big impacting, and race impacting. Now nobody has to worry about green flag pit stops. So then this completely changes the entire race again.
Right on board with Barry Kramer through the wreck here. Still in the replay. He pulls down the track. Kind of comes in there and just clips the 42 as he comes down the track.
Fortunately, actually, for most of the drivers, they were all in the low lane, getting ready to pit. So it just basically looks like it really collected the 4 guys that were up top. I'm watching the 68 go down the backstretch with his right front wheel just completely turning left. He's definitely a broken tie rod. Excuse me. Definitely broken. Yeah, Jeff got through it.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, Doyle. Sorry, Doyle asked if.
Let me get a Jeff update. Yeah, it looks like there was only, like you said, the 4 that were up top were included in it, and then the 18, and really
89.
So working lap, well, I don't know, 21 laps to go here. Everybody got their pit stop out of the way. We didn't cover that, but we had pit stops. 68 stayed out, I guess, the lead lap. He's coming down with that damaged truck now. That right front flopping around. That's going to be Robert Malikian back out front. Bobby Terrell in second. TJ Bartell. Nicholas Moreau fourth. And Brian Thorson in fifth.
Where did Nicholas come from?
Well, he was outside there, and he ducked back inside.
So it looks like Malikian and Nicholas might have only taken 2 tires. Or maybe they didn't take as much fuel, because Bobby, TJ had 35-second pit stop cycles, but Nicholas had a 31-second pit stop cycle, so he gained 4 seconds through the pits.
We'll see if that pays off. It's going to put him in position up here. He's up 17 spots from his starting position of 21st. So he's gained a lot of positions. Alan Duranco up there in 6-2. I want to give him a shout out, or 7th, sorry. He's up 20 positions from where he started. So he's made some inroads as well. And then look, Tony Solari, P5. Tony always does really well at these plate races. I mean, you figure there's a lot of wall around this racetrack that he'd be all up into it, but he actually does really good at these plate races. He always ends up in the front. I don't know how he does it. Oddly enough, there's a wall all the way around the track.
Right? But it's so big. There's 2.66 miles of wall.
Yeah.
You think that Tony would be all over that, but no, he does. He really does he's always good at these plate tracks.
He is a good plate racer for sure. Usually our strategist on the team too, so.
Yeah, he's usually yelling at us. We got a pit. We got like 13 and a half laps left to go.
I mean, math may not be a strong suit, but he's usually trying to get our strategy right.
He does, for sure.
He'll kill me Monday.
So Wayne Grossi's up from 30th to 9th, so another one up 21 spots. So we got a lot of comers and goers here.
Josh Mayhew's cracked the top 10. He's in the 61, currently P10. Ryan Chapman in 11th back there, and then Jeff Chandler in 12th. So he's creeping his way towards the front. It wouldn't surprise me to see him towards the front here at the end of this one. Things you still got. I know it says 20 to go, and it's going to be 19 to go on the restart, but that's still a long way to go on a super speedway.
Right, but this is where it's going to get intense because now everybody knows that there's less than 20 laps to go. It's coming to the end of the race. Now's the time they got to go to the front. So you're going to start to see a lot of guys do some moves, I think, that may not have happened, 15, 20 laps ago.
We're going to see it. Green flags out. They're back underway here at Talladega. 19 laps to go in the Talladega 200 for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. And it was a good restart by the 16 of Robert Malikian. He's going to clear that outside lane, although they're going to get a head of steam here. Bobby Terrell, Nicholas Moreau on the outside.
Yeah, I had thought that maybe that was too good of a start for the 16 as he kind of separated from TJ, which allowed the outside to basically train up here going down the backstretch.
Got some movers and shakers back there. Trading lanes, changing lines, and trying to get in line and go towards the front. Meanwhile, up front, it's 2x2. They're locked together. Really close racing for the top 10.
Yep, and then, like I said, we're going to get back to, and you can see it already, that the pushes are starting to get a little bit harder. Everybody's all up on the wheel. So, we got 18 laps to go, and there's only 18 laps left of the race. The 52 pops up on the third.
I was going to say Scout Neff looking to the outside already, but he's by himself. Everybody gets back in line. He's come through 1 and 2. He's all lonesome, all by himself. It's a lonely feeling up there.
1 is the loneliest number.
Well, 52 right now.
Well, 1 by himself. But, I said I wasn't going to sing. And
you're singing. Look at you. All right. Thanks, DW. Thanks for that nugget.
Yeah. There you go. I went from Kevin Harvick to DW on one broadcast.
Yeah, wow. Covering them all. That was close.
The 21, the 21 popped up a little bit there.
Now the 24, I don't know if he's deciding to look inside or not, but they kind of get back in line.
So if I start telling you trends of the race, do I get Larry McReynolds covered?
Yeah, I don't know. You're trying to get them all in one?
Yeah, might as well get them all done in one race.
What's our trends there, Larry?
Wrecks. They happen. Well, it looks like Scout picked up 1 truck there, or 2 trucks there on the outside.
Ooh,
maybe 3 with the 21.
21 kind of cuts him off there, blocks him. He's going to decide to go up there. He's going to commit.
I believe that's the GHR team up there.
It is.
Of the 21, 52, and the 18. I guess that's team strategy up there on the outside.
It's worked out. It worked out for the stage. They're going to try to make it work for the race here as they are 3x3x3 for about third on back.
And JP Barnes, our stage winner, is trying to join that group up there.
Boy, that's a mess of trucks going down the backstretch here. Now they're 3x3 for the lead as that 21 truck gets a great push from the 52. He's going to take the lead as they head into turn 3.
The 94 and the 15 moved down to take the front of the bottom lane, leaving. Well, now the 21 moved down to the middle lane, leaving the other 3 up on the top. So you got 21 of Keaton Pipe leading Tony Solari on the middle lane, with Jeff Chandler in third in the middle lane there.
That's a lot of experience on the bottom lane. The 94, Bobby Terrell, the 15, getting tight, of Nicholas Moreau leading that bottom lane. Both those guys, league veterans, been doing this a long time. They kind of know each other as well. That's really going to be tough to beat. They know what to do around the bottom.
Now we got the 2 Carolina boys going to the outside for the down the backstretch with Ryan Chapman in tow. So they finally, it took them all race to do it, but the Carolina boys -1 got together on the outside here.
There they are, 3x3 once again through 3 and 4. How long can they keep this up, Richie? It's funny, you start doing this, there's a lifespan that I feel like that you can do this for so long, and then eventually something breaks and something happens, and it's all in tears.
Well, they'll do this all the way to the wreck or the checkers.
Good call.
Whichever comes first.
That's
That's
a brilliant deduction. They'll do it till they wreck.
What makes me, well, I said record checkered. It depends on which one comes out first. But the 21 with the side drafting, got to be careful. I mean, you're 3 wide, so you got to be careful with the side drafting on a normal basis.
Yeah, you're in a tough spot. You're kind of in the sucker hole on the inside, getting pushed around a little bit here, heading into turn 3. They are still 3x3 for the lead. This is some great racing, though. I'll be honest with you. I got to give them credit for being able to do this lap after lap.
Yeah, I'd be sweating bullets, especially if I was Tony or Jeff, just because you got nowhere you can go. If they screw up on the bottom lane, you're right there. If they screw up on the outside of you, you're right there. So the 11, the 31, the 99, the 22, all in the middle right there, man, they got to be sweating bullets, because I know I am.
Yeah, update the give you the leaders here. The 94 and Bobby Terrell on the bottom, the 21 Keaton Pipe leading the middle lane, and on the top side, that's the 24 William Lark.
And it changes lap to lap as far as which one of them leads the lap.
Right.
Because they get good. The outside lane is getting really good pushes down the backstretch, but they take so much longer to get around the corner that the inside lane pulls back up through the corners.
And
the middle lane is just like, the middle lane's like, I'm just here, guys.
In typical fashion, you end up lined up with people that you had, I don't want to say had beef, but had concerns about from last week. You got the 21, the 11 lined up nose to tail. And now we almost are 4 wide. No, he decides to duck back in on the outside. So still 3 wide as they head into turn 1.
I missed that, thank God.
Ooh, 21 washing up the track a little bit. Oh, he pulls up in front of the outside lane, so he's going to lead the outside in front of the 24. He made that work.
And now you got Jeff Chandler pushing Tony Solari as Tony Solari takes over the lead of the middle lane. Ryan Chapman moving from the outside lane to the middle lane. It's a lot of shifting going on.
Shakers and movers for sure.
Yeah, we're 11 laps to go coming up here.
21 loose on the outside lane, getting that push from the 24. Hangs on to it, though, as Tony Solari is going to take the lead here on this lap. The 11 out front, and that's from help from the 31 of Jeff Chandler.
Man, does it make me nervous when I see those cars start pushing on the right rear. I just pucker every time I see that. But so far, so good here as we 3 wide still. How many laps have we been 3 wide now?
I've lost track. We're still 3 wide. Great racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. The Sim Racing Points Truck Series here at Talladega. We've got 11 laps to go for the Talladega 200. Great racing action here on Full Throttle Television.
Last lap, the top 21 cars were under a second away from each other. So we had 20 cars in under a second on the racetrack. This is crazy.
Doyle Lawrence says he's really nervous. Doyle, I'm right there with you. I'm nervous too. We'll see if they can hang on to this for 10 more laps around Talladega. 3 wide. They've been 3 wide. It seems like for 10 laps already. Can they do it for another 10?
Well, they certainly can, for sure. It's a matter of whether or not they try to make it to 4 wide or if 3 wide is enough for them. Depends whether or not the Carolina boys try to leave out the 21. Jeff leaves Tony, or if Nicholas tries to make any hay. Oh, the 24 just got into the wall on the outside there.
Yeah, he still stacked that outside lane up a little bit, but they keep rolling.
Rolling.
As long as they're not rolling like on their side rolling, we're good. As the tires are rolling, we're good.
Yes, it's round and rolling. That's how we like our tires.
21 Keaton Pipe getting a good push from the 24 up front. On the outside lane, pushes him back even with second place. Actually, they're going to drop back a little bit. Tony Solari in that middle lane trying to hang with the leader on the inside lane. That is Bobby Terrell on the inside.
Nicholas Moreau pushing them. Can he win a 5th race in 6 races? Can Tony Solari pull the middle lane to a victory? Or does Keaton Pipe in the outside lane, do they hold the keys on the outside here? I don't know. It's every lap. It's just changing.
I don't know how this is going to play out, but it sure is entertaining here. They're doing a great job. Now you see second place Nicholas Moreau pull out in front of the 11 of Solari. Moreau going to get that push from Solari out front. He's going to lead that lap. So Nicholas Moreau leading the inside lane now. Bobby Terrell loses that help from the bottom. He's going to get help now from Robert Malikian.
Now, does Tony become the guy that pushes Nicholas to those 5th out of 6th wins? Does he become that guy? Or does eventually he push him out and then leave Nicholas? I don't know.
Looks like they're having a hard time pushing anybody out to do anything at this point. They kind of just stay grouped together. But Nicholas Moreau now on the outside of Bobby Terrell with what he thinks is the best shot to win here. Coming to 7 laps to go here at Talladega.
All right, so watch that outside lane, because while the 24 got into the wall a couple laps ago, Ryan Chapman snuck up in front of him, and he's now 2nd behind the 21 in the outside lane. And Ryan definitely tries to make things happen here at the end, as the 24 got in the wall again going into turn 1.
Yeah, Chapman was the one that actually pushed the 99 out front for the stage win, so he knows how to do this.
Exactly.
He's in position once again. Now you see the guys looking to the outside. They're actually going to pull back inside. You got Jeff Chandler right on the back bumper of the 11 of Solari, who's on the back bumper of the 15 of Moreau.
They're making some headway up there, but that loss of the Carolina boys has definitely slowed down the energy up there. So I'd watch for the middle lane to possibly gain some energy here with the lack of cars to their outside.
And I hate to mention this, but I'm going to. They are catching some lap cars.
Oh, they are. Yep. Looks like Markyle Henderson in the 62 will be the first lap car they catch, and then Kyle Milliken would be Kyle Milken would be. Oh, is the 07? Ooh, I thought he was going underneath TJ down the backstretch.
Heading into turn 3. Now you got Wayne Grossi jump to the outside lane. You got another car jump to the outside. I think it's the 99 of JP Burns jumping out there. Now they are 3 by 3 by 3. And look at that. The 62, Markyle Henderson pulls to the apron and gives those guys all the room. So kudos to him for sure. They're going to good job. Keep the race going here on the front. We're coming to 5 laps. 5 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. 3 by 3 by 3, as deep as you can see here for the front of the field of the Sim Racing Points Truck Series.
Is anybody going to breathe for the next 5 laps? I'm not sure I am. They are. This is crazy. They're 3 by 3 by 3, and it's every lap. The inside's good. The outside's good. The next lap, the middle's good. Oh, the 21 comes down.
Yeah, there's some shaking going on back there in the back, but they hang on to it.
The 21, the 15.
Oh, goodness.
They're squeezing, so the 21 is now leading the inside lane, and now Ryan Chapman moved down to the bottom lane.
Oh, my goodness.
2 guys that were on the outside are now on the inside. Oh, my God.
And now
Tony making a move.
Yeah, Tony Solari to the outside of the 15 of Moreau. He's going to take the lead for that lap. Solari out front with the help from Jeff Chandler. He's going to pull down in front of the bottom lane. Yeah, he does. He makes that work.
And we got 2 lap cars right there on the bottom.
They're going to pull to the apron, give these guys plenty of room. Thankful for that. 43-42.
Ryan Chapman did leave Tony for a second to take over the middle lane, but now you got the 21 of Keaton Pipe right behind him.
This is getting shaky right here. Tony Solari now leading the outside lane. Who's leading the middle lane?
No, Ryan Chapman's leading the middle lane. Tony Solari's leading the bottom lane. And then you got Scout and F leading the outside lane.
Coming to 3 to go. 3 laps to go here at Talladega. Once they see the white flag, they'll be racing to the checkered. And you'll know from that point that they're going for it all the way around this track. But not there yet. 3 laps to go here. The Sim Racing Points Truck Series still 3 by 3. That outside lane's starting to drop back just a little now as we see one of the cars get the wall. Oh, Wayne Grossi comes down, collects another car. That is the 2 of Alan Duranco. And that's going to be a caution. We are going to have a green-white checkered finish here at Talladega.
As if we couldn't make it any more stressful, we're going to throw a green-white checkered in this.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one.
At least one. Yeah, looks like Wayne Grossi got I don't know if he got sideways on his own or got spit out there or whatever. He kind of come down the track and unfortunately collected some cars there. So we'll go back and watch that on our.
Kind of looks like J.P. Burns in front of Wayne got into the wall a couple times, and then Wayne just kind of popped under his quarter panel and just got turned down.
Best one tire and auto care, yeah. You see, 99 in the wall, comes down, collects the 2, does a little, the 2 does a little pirouette, a little dance there for us down the back stretch.
Oh, and, I thought he was going over,
Yeah.
And the 18 got involved again. He had no fault of his own, just nowhere to go, innocent bystander.
99 in the wall, 7 goes down in front of who was the car he come down on there?
Which, who, Wayne came on?
Wayne, yeah. Was that Joseph Burgess? No.
Well, Duranko, he hits Duranko, and then he does that in front of the 18 of Brian Kramer again. And then Kramer
there was a car riding
wall.
behind the 7 that he come across on there. The blue car. Was that Chris Gore? Maybe, yeah, it was Chris Gore.
Yeah, Chris Gore, yep. So the 18 and 89 collected in the same 2 that were collected in the last caution, unfortunately got collected in this one as well. Man, ramping up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it ain't over. Just,
so we got Tony Solari leading. You got Keaton Pipes going to be starting on his outside, and then third we have Jeff Chandler. Oh, sorry, no, we got Ryan Chapman third, Jeff Chandler fourth, Bobby Terrell fifth. So I don't know. This is going to be who gets the push?
Yeah, Tony gets to pick his partner here. Do you want the 20? Do you want the 10 behind you or the 31 behind you? 31's been pushing pretty good here tonight. It'll be hard to choose that outside lane, though, is that you give the inside up to these guys.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. I'm glad I don't have to make it. I'm glad I'm not in the chat to try to help him make it. But then you got to worry about, all right, so if you line up in front of Ryan and or Jeff and they push you, you come around and get the white flag. When do they come out of line to try to take the win over you?
When
do they wait till backstretch? Yeah, and that's so you're going to be tense now. You're going to be even more tense because now you got to worry about when somebody's going to leave you, when they're going to stop pushing you, if they're going to stop pushing you. You never know. Jeff or Ryan may push the guy in front of him to the win. You never know.
You know, it's funny because I know Dole's watching. Dole's pulling for Jeff Chandler for sure, and he's up there. Tony's mom and dad, I'm sure, are watching. We always give them kind of a shout out. I'm sure they're watching the broadcast pulling for Tony, currently leading, so he's in a good spot for sure. We'll see how this plays out here. And of course, Ryan Chapman's got his, I think Diane Chapman's usually watching his races as well. So a lot of people watching on right here that are probably cheering on for these top guys. And it's going to be interesting to see how it works out.
So I had called that the big one was going to happen on the white flag, and I missed it by a half a lap. So not too bad. I'm not going to count the green, white checkered, so because we may have still a big one yet.
Doyle Lawrence is trying to, he's channeling his inner Larry Mack. He says the last 4 times we've been to Talladega, we've finished in overtime. So there's a Larry Mack stat.
Thank you, Larry Lawrence or Doyle Mack, whatever we want to call you. Appreciate the info because I didn't know that.
All right, I don't know if that's factual or not, but it sounds accurate.
Sounds good.
Sounds about right.
Sounds good. I mean, we have conversations all the time where you're like, you remember that race that happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember back a couple of races. It's amazing what you can remember versus what you can't remember.
So they've got the one to go. They're lined up, and Tony chose the inside lane. Quick nugget too, by the way. The broadcaster challenge this week. Tony Solari leading the race, and see he's kind of got a hand. I don't know if it's better or worse, but we're at Talladega for trucks. You're at Darlington for Cup. So
Darlington, yeah. Does that count? Do we cross over, or do I have to wait to go to Talladega and do Talladega versus Talladega?
I guess it's all in it's in the eye of the beholder. I guess it's however you want to look at that. If things don't go well on Monday night, I guess you can point to Talladega when it comes up.
Well, they might not go any better there, so who knows? I know I'm winning 3-1 at this point.
Oh, we are keeping track. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, I don't know if we're keeping track, but I'm keeping track. only because he made such a big deal out of his one win that we started the commentator cup with his one win, and he made such a big deal out of it.
That's backfired. Hopefully, he can redeem himself here tonight, though. He's looking good. Again, let's recap it. Tony Solari on the inside leading. On the outside, it's going to be Keaton Pipe in the 21. On the inside of row 2 is Ryan Chapman with Jeff Chandler on the outside. And you got Bobby Terrell and Nicholas Moreau, row 3. Robert Malikian, Michael Blackner making an appearance in the top 10, row 4. TJ Bartell and Ryan Lark rounding out your top 5 here. Pace car is off. We're getting ready to do this. Green, white, checkered finish here at Talladega.
Did you see that pace car? He looked a little wiggly. Well, never mind. He just a little wiggly. But here we go, coming to green here. Long way down the straightaway.
In the restart zone, green flag's out, and we are back underway here. And they are spread out here for the green flag.
Did everybody know we were going to the green there? Because you're right, that's way spread out.
Well, I'm worried. Tony Solari's got a big lead, and the 10 of Chapman pulling up to him. Is he going to push him or pull out?
Oh, Jeff goes to the top.
Jeff Chandler looking to the outside, pushing the 10 of Ryan Chapman. We got a car in the wall back there behind him. Oh, they're scattering here in the mid-pack. Everybody keeps it going, though, as we head into turn 3.
We got 3 wide action with the 52 just kind of moving his way up in there. Chapman came down in front of Tony Solari. Jeff Chandler leading the outside, the middle lane, and now Michael Blackner way on the outside. Where'd he come from?
Michael Blackner in that blue and yellow machine leading the outside lane. We're coming to the white flag. Ooh. 1 lap to go. Are we going to make it? White flag, 1 lap to go.
4 wide.
Contact. The 22's around. Michael Blackner around. They're wrecking in front of him as well.
Jeff Chandler. They got Jeff Chandler.
Ryan Chapman, Tony Solari leading. We are still green. They're wrecking behind them as well. Still into turn 2.
They're wrecking again.
We're watching this battle for the lead. We'll go back to the wrecks. The 11 of Tony Solari pushing the 10 of Ryan Chapman. They pulled out Bobby Terrell in 3rd.
Oh, boy. When do you make the move?
Drew 3 and 4. Who does Bobby go with? Does he try to win this on his own as well? Out of turn 4. The 11 pulls up to the outside.
Ryan with the block.
Beating and banging. He's let the inside open. Oh, boy. Bobby's going to hang him behind him. Is he going to push Tony Solari?
Ryan Chapman.
Ryan Chapman wins. And, boy, they crossed the line multiple cars wide.
Yes, they did. .096 separated the top 4 trucks. Wow. Ryan Chapman, Tony Solari, Bobby Terrell, and the bionic hand Robert Milliken comes home 4th with James Morris from nowhere, from a lap down to 5th.
All right. Wow. We got a lot of dissecting to do here.
I don't even know where to start. Well, I guess we could start with the first track. So we got to go back to the white flag lap. And
I think it will start here. I think Chris Gore had an issue.
Well, you're going even further back.
Yeah, he got in the wall. He's the one in the wall down the back stretch. Oh, no, that's the sorry, that was the caution.
Too far. You went too far back.
Yeah, I did.
Man, it's whew. A lot of stuff. Yeah,
all right, we'll just go back to the green flag here and see if we can dissect what these wrecks were. A lot of wrecking on the last lap.
Yes, a lot of. I think at least 3 different wrecks that I saw.
Yeah, who
I
was
don't know which one you're looking at first.
The car on the outside wall? Who was leading the outside lane there and got a...
Michael Blackner was leading the outside lane.
No, not at this time. It's a gray car.
Where are you? You missed the first wreck already. You got to go back to the first wreck. The one you're looking at right there is, I think, Nicholas Moreau got turned into the outside wall.
Well, this is 2 to go. This is after the green flag.
Oh.
So we're going to back it up here.
Way back. Yeah, you went way back then. Okay.
I did. So Nicholas Moreau goes to the outside. There's a touch between him and somebody else, and then the 00 gets into him, I believe. So they head down the backstretch. We'll fast forward here. Just want to show you guys everything that happened here.
Lots of stuff going on. Looks like the 00 got in the back of the 15.
Coming to the line, there was a lot of movement here. I think I was watching the 21.
Yeah, the 52 went to make it 4 wide, and it didn't work.
Oh.
And he got squeezed between the 21 and the 22. And he turns up and takes out the 22, the 07, the 71, the 24, the 34. That was that first wreck. And
Yeah,
then
I'm
Chandler
trying to get a better view of this here. As they end up going into the corner.
Never go the right way, trying to look at the cars.
You said the 52. All right, let's back it up. So the 52 leaves his teammate, goes to the outside of the 21, makes it 4 wide. And you're right. There's just not quite enough room.
When he makes it 4 wide, he kind of touches the 22, which gets his truck kind of loose, and he bounces off the 22 and then spins back up into the 22. And then
I mean, there's a wreck in turn 2 after that happens.
Yeah, that's where the 21 got into the left rear quarter panel of Jeff Chandler. And that takes out just Jeff.
And who was that again?
The 21 and the 31.
Looking for the 21. There he is. No, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't the 21.
It was.
Oh, this one. Oh, this was the second of the third wreck. Yeah, right, so the 21 tries to stick in. Yeah, and that was never going to work. There was not a hole there.
Yeah. And then the doubles, one of the Larks gets into TJ right after this. 00 right there. Lots of stuff going on here.
Yeah. So here comes Ryan Lark into the, and then just 3 wide. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it's the last lap. The way iRacing works is the yellow does not come out, so you have to race back.
And so we'll watch
trucks that have.
Watch us finish. Yeah, that's fine. We'll watch us finish one more time with the 11, the 10, and the 94. So the 11 pulls out right there, and Bobby stays low. The 10 goes up to block, and there's contact, and then Ryan pulls down to block the 94, and that's all the push he needed. And then here comes everybody else with a head of steam to the line.
Yeah, when he went up the block, I'm really surprised that Tony didn't get the good run on that. But they were 4 wide there at the end. They were lucky that backpack didn't have a couple extra feet, because they would have lost the lead there.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys were coming with a head of steam as they were fighting it out there up front, but it was just enough. Those 3, I think, hang on for the top 3 positions. They do. So let's look at your finishing result here as we finish up looking at all the carnage on the last lap. your results here. Ryan Chapman wins the race. The number 10 Toyota. That push from the stage worked out for him. He's going to take home the victory tonight. Tony Solari comes home P2. Bobby Terrell in the 94 is going to finish P3. Fourth place is going to be the 16 of Robert Malikian. James Morris finishing P5 in that 88. Good run for him. You mentioned that as coming from a lap down. Josh Mayhew comes home P6. Good run for him. He snuck up in there and got a really nice finish. P7 for Ryan Lark. P8 for Colby Meese, who also came from a lap down. Ninth place is going to be the 2 of Alan Duranco, and 10th spot is going to be Joseph Burgess.
The 21 of Keaton Pipe brings it home 11th. Nicholas Moreau 12th. So not the greatest points night for Nick, but not a total bleeder of a night. So still comes home 12th. Jeff Chandler 13th. William Lark 14th. TJ Bartell comes home 15th, followed by Brendan Polton 16th. Wayne Grassi 17th. JP Burns 18th. Barry Kramer 19th. And Michael Blackner in 20th.
And rounding out your finishers. There, 21st is going to be Chris Beck. 22nd, Brian Thorson. 23rd, Kyle Milliken. Lewis Maglin, another heartbreaker. 24th. 25th is going to be Scout Neff in the 52. 26th, Chris Gore. 27th is going to be Chad Lang. 28th, Markyle Henderson. 29th, Aaron Satcher. 30th, Corey Atkins, and finishing tail end of the field with that mechanical issue. The 36th of Dave Nestor in the Toyota. So since we spent so much time talking about the wrecks on the end of the race, we're going to go straight to our post-race show. We'll catch up with our top 3 finishers, starting with third place, which will be
Bobby Terrell.
Mr. Bobby Terrell.
So
Bobby, sorry, Bobby, we interrupt right here and get your interview right quick. Bobby, congratulations on a third place finish, a hard fought third place finish. I know you probably wanted more out there. You led a lot of laps tonight, led the field around for several laps and ran up front all night. It was a good night. It was just maybe with 2 spots.
Yes, it was a good night. Finally, I think my first top 5 of the year, so I'll take it. Of all places, a Speedway.
It might be the paint scheme. You brought back the familiar paint scheme, and looks like it paid off for you. We can blame it on that. I don't know, but it was a good run, man. You worked with a lot of the guys out there. A lot of different guys were working with you, and you were working with them. Did you find? I mean, there was some comfort there at the end when you had the 15 and Nicholas Moreau. Some of the Tony Solari up there. Some of the guys that you know well that's raced. You've raced with for a while, but talk about the nervousness. We were talking about in the broadcast about how nervous it is to run up front all the whole time in one of these races, because it's just like it can be nerve wracking trying to give those pushes or take those pushes out there.
I was as cool as a cucumber. You know me, man. I was just riding. I mean, basically, I did have a lot of guys help me, and I have to thank them for sure. And they know who they are. Like, um, it's just like I was telling Ron at the end of the race. I mean, he almost left a hole open, and then I wish I'd gotten back up to maybe Tony or right in the middle and seen how that played out. But I was just kind of stuck, where I was. I mean, I'll take it considering everything that happened at the end of that race, to come away third. I'll take it all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a good, like I said, a good third place finish for sure. There at the stage though, that's that. You were leading there at the towards the end of the stage. You were running up front, and then that outside lane came out of nowhere and ended up clipping you there at the last minute. But talk about, I mean, was the outside lane kind of the call? I mean, I guess we didn't have really a chance there at the end with the field getting broke up, but I noticed you never kind of tried the outside. You never had to, I guess. You were up front most of the night. But we saw that outside lane kind of come flying up there. How was the drafting out there?
The drafting was good. I mean, everybody, we were pushing. I wasn't side drafting a lot, but it was too early to do that. I mean, like, I'm a veteran of this, and I know how to race on the internet. You have to allow room. You can't, you just can't do that. Like when it gets close to the end, I get it, But like I said, um, I didn't have to go to the very outside. I stayed in the second lane, as y'all saw. Just and like I said, I was doing okay out there. I didn't really have to get to the inside, but then when I got to the inside, like I said, Robert just pushed me along, and we were just hitting our marks, and uh, you know, I guess minding our own business. Um, I raced this whole race. I'm going to tell you, by the way, there's a whole line of tornadoes coming through Missouri, West Tennessee, Kentucky. We had 5 supercells heading toward us. We had tornadoes all on the outside. I raced with one headphone in my ear, and that was it, listening to everything else that was going on.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna interview Bobby. We're gonna hear air raid sirens going off in the back, and be flying through the air like Dorothy. So I'm
we
glad things
we
worked
had
out.
we had tornado warnings. Like I said, Obion County had tornado warnings going on, and there was a few tornadoes, a few miles away. They said so, according to TV, anyway. But like I
Did they
said, I'd
find
like
Bobby?
do
Did they
what?
find Bobby? Did they find Bobby? Oh yeah, we found him in his sim rig about 5 miles from his house after the tornado hit.
Yeah, still holding on to the steering wheel.
Still holding on to steering wheel.
Well, I'm glad you're safe, Bobby. I'm glad things have kind of worked out. Hopefully they calm down there and you stay safe. But hey, congratulations tonight though on a third place finish as well. It's a good solid finish at Talladega. It's good. It's always good to come out of here with a complete car, a good finish, a good points night. But I'm going to hand you the mic to let you do your shout outs, your sponsor plugs, and the floor is yours.
Well, I'd like to thank TJ and Jeff, of course, for helping me. And then just all the guys that helped me tonight. They know who they are. I mean, like they pushed me. You cannot win these races without help, and you've got to remember who they are. So a shout out to them.
Well, absolutely. And there's your third place finisher tonight, the 94 Bobby Terrell taking home the P3 finish. A good points night, and we'll look for him next week as we head to Bristol Motor Speedway. But Richie, before we do that, we'll hand you the mic and let you take over interview for our second place finisher, Mr. Tony Solari.
Yeah, I'm down here with Tony Spicy Solari, man. What is going on? We thought you were
Well,
gonna have the win here. What the heck? You screwed
you
up.
know, and I even said in chat, I go, it would really help me out with the broadcaster challenge if you guys let me get this win. And, but then they were saying, you already won last in fall. So Ryan wasn't having none of that. And, and I even told Bobby, I said, Bobby, I thought you liked me more than Ryan, but apparently not. If you can't be the bride, you're bridesmaid or something like that. Right.
Well, once you win, they don't help you anymore. So
That's right.
but,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, honestly, we were talking in the middle, and I was joking around with it. But you just the plate tracks, for whatever reason, you seem to do really good here. What's your secret?
It's no different than if you guys ever listen to me broadcasting these plate tracks. I tell you all the secrets. Patience, relax, don't make stupid moves. Go with the flow. Just kind of and you got to be there at the end, and that's really all it is. And you see a lot of these guys zipping in and out. People can't hold the friggin' line straight. You'll find friends out there, and Jeff Chandler was pushing me a little bit when we were 3 wide, which was pretty white knuckle, nerve wracking. But you just gotta pay attention to what you're doing, go with the flow, and don't put yourself in a situation that it's like driving in traffic. If you're darting in and out in traffic on the highway, you ain't gonna go anywhere. But if you just stay in your lane's gonna move eventually, and that's all it is. Plate track is no different than that, and it just relax and just go out there and just drive. And if you're there at the end, I always say too, if you're there in turn 4 at the last lap, you got a chance. I had a chance. Bobby helped Ryan. It's okay. Ryan's a good dude.
Well,
Ryan got the win.
and in his defense, Bobby also dove under Ryan at one point too.
Bobby said he wanted to win too, and hey,
Yeah.
it's a plate track. Everybody wants to win, especially at Dega.
You guys were 4 wide. You guys were like 4 or 5 wide going across the line there because the guys behind you caught you guys.
Yeah,
and they spread out. So you guys were like 4 or 5 wide. But
I know.
What a job, dude. I mean, you guys. I thought you were gonna. I'm sure you didn't want to see that last caution come out. as you were
It
leading
would have
going down the
been.
backstretch.
I kind of figured there was going to be something. But yeah, it would have been fun to kind of have the pack race to the line like that. But it is what it is. We still got it at home, got second out of it, which I'm even surprised we were still able to hang on to second out of all that. But yeah, it was, it's a fun race. I do like these plate tracks. So some of them, you don't like when you get wrecked out early enough. But hey, if you can make it to the end, to me, that's a win in itself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But great job tonight, though, coming home second. You're gonna make my job really hard. Brody and I were talking. We're not sure if I should be my Darlington this week versus your Talladega, or if we should keep your Talladega second for when I go to Talladega. But either way, it doesn't matter. Great job tonight. I'm going to open up the floor for you to say your shout outs for your sponsors and all that makes this happen for you.
All right. Well, for starters, my sponsor is Full Throttle TV. So I like to thank, the opportunity to be a broadcaster. And I like to thank you guys, not only friends, but coworkers in a way. Got to thank the league and got to thank everybody tonight. I gave them a little pep talk at the beginning of this, and I said, let's play with some level heads. And I think for the most part, the race was pretty good. So I want to thank everybody that came out tonight and made the race what it was. Congratulations to Ryan, and good job with Bobby for third. And got to thank Mom and Dad out there watching. And yeah, I don't know. Just thanks again to everybody in the league and you guys especially. And, Brody, of course, for putting it on. I hear him laughing in the background. So, yeah, we'll see you guys after this.
All right. Well, there's our second place finisher, Tony Solari. Brody, I think you found the winner tonight over there in Victory Lane.
Yeah, I'm down here with our winner tonight, Ryan Chapman, taking home the victory tonight in the number 10 Toyota for Elevated Esports. Ryan, congratulations, man. What a chaotic finish to an otherwise very clean but very exciting race.
Yeah, it's very chaotic. I was stressed out the whole time.
Yeah, well,
now that was what I was expecting Bobby to say. Bobby's one. I was a cool cumber.
Yeah.
No, Ryan had the right answer.
Yeah, man, I was stressed that whole time. I'm like, man, I don't have luck at these super speedways. I'm either chilling in the middle and then I get stuck in the middle, or I'm up front and I get wrecked. So I was up front this time, and I'm like, man, one or two options are going to happen. Either I'm going to see that checker flag, or I'm going to go flipping into the stands. But I was really good with either or, but I'm really good with how it came out. So,
why do you sound like that? What's that? Cletus McFarland after his ARCA race too. You're like,
man, because I am pumped. It's been a rough freaking season, man.
It has been
I
a
am
rough.
pumped.
Ryan was going down
have been stressed out. Martinsville had I had to get a new head on my head because, man, I was fired up. I came in this week saying I'm showing why I was leading the whole race at Phoenix, why I deserved to be in the playoffs, and we're back in the playoffs.
Well, you were screaming down the backstretch into the start-finish line like a bald eagle. I tell you,
bald eagle.
Just my friend, my team in the Discord was like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "We're going to fucking Victory Lane."
Hey, whoa!
Yeah,
It's a child show here.
Okay, freaking Victory Lane. My bad.
But yeah, man. And again, well, let's go back to the stage. You were pushing JP Burns at the stage win there at the end on the outside lane. You guys jumped up to the outside and made that work. And in 2 laps, you went from like 10th to second on the outside. So, you had the speed. And I knew when you jumped up there towards the end of the race, I was like, okay, that's the pusher you want up there for sure. Talk about how fast the truck was tonight.
Man, this Elite Performance Industries Toyota Tundra was freaking fast. It was on rails. It was just everywhere I wanted to go with it. Whenever I made the adjustment to where I needed it to go, it went. And man, that thing was a beast pushing. I mean, I told JP, I'm like, we got to go. And when he went, we went. But yeah, the Elite Performance Industries guy, Jared over there who builds truck sets, great builder, great team over there, and overall, it was just a beautiful truck tonight.
Yeah,
especially had Brandon on board tonight, so glad to get them back in Victory Lane. So very pumped about that.
Yeah, I put a picture of the or a screenshot of the finish there at the end. You were clear of the top 3 or clear of the other trucks. They were 3 wide behind you there, and coming to the start finish line. Or coming off turn 4, you knew Tony was going to make the move. It's just a matter of where he went. So he moved to the high side. You pulled up to kind of slow his momentum down. And then here comes Bobby in the mirror. Kind of walk us through what your thought process is coming off turn 4.
Well, I've done a lot of these super speedways, so I know that first is not where you want to be. You want to be in second because obviously you get that major run, and if you get to their quarter panel, it's over from there. So I knew I just had to run him up as high as I could without wrecking him. I was going to try to give him a little bit of a door bang, to try to slow his momentum down because he had the momentum coming off of the corner. And then I looked up in my mirror because I'm just like, let me just peek to see who's behind me. And all of a sudden, I just see Bobby just coming down on the bomb. And I'm like, I got one option. And that was to yeet the car down left. And Bobby just hit me. And that thing just took off.
Yeet use.
Go ahead, Richie.
Yep.
You want to add to that?
No, I was just going off on the yeet comment there. That's a wrestler.
Oh, yeah, that. Yep. Yep, Jimmy Uso.
But I will take this opportunity to just say congratulations, Ryan. It was an awesome job, and honestly, I'm super stoked to hear how excited you are to win one of these races. So just congratulations, man. Awesome job.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's been rough. It's been a rough start to the season, but we're back in the playoffs, so that's off the shoulder, and now we can just go back to hopefully running back in the top 5.
Wins always have a habit of making everything feel better.
Oh,
yes.
Sure. Especially after the last week. It feels even better.
Well, for sure. Coming off a tough week at Martinsville, you come back and get the victory. Congratulations once again, the 10 of Ryan Chapman, your winner tonight. Ryan, I'm going to hand you the mic there, let you do your shout-outs and sponsor plugs.
Thank you. I would like to give a shout out to Brandon for being on board tonight. Elevated Esports for obviously helping everyone out with the team and just getting everything organized. Elevated Outdoors. Some motion for hooking up all my rig stuff, Victory Fuel, Gums Auto, and obviously Elite Performance Industries, and just everyone else that helps on the team. And hopefully we can get more of our guys in victory lane and keep going like we are.
Yeah, you guys look stout. Well, congratulations again. Enjoy the victory, enjoy the celebration, and we'll see you next week at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Thanks, boys. It's gonna be fun next week.
All right, there's your winner tonight. He's excited, Richie. He's got me fired up.
I know, right? That's awesome. You know what, Brody? That's when you win one of these races. That should show you the emotion that's behind all this stuff. Everybody says that this is a game, but that emotion right there is not from a game. That emotion right there is from the raw emotions that you get when you drive one of these sim rigs. That was awesome. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. He is fired up. He's ready to go. He's and I apologize for the language, but yeah, he's raring and ready to go here and takes on the victory tonight. He did a great job. He made all the right moves tonight. He was in the right spot at the right time. He just came up one spot short in the stage, but he was the guy pushing the stage winner, so you can't really fault him there. And it was a teammate of his too. So I guess Elevated Esports sweeps the race here tonight. Who started on pole? Who started on pole?
Malikian, he started on the pole
there you go.
with that bionic hand of his.
So there you go. And they sweep the pole, the stage win, and the race win tonight. So congratulations to him. What a wild one at the end. It was tame. It was calm. Then it ramped up. We had some great 3-wide racing all the way through the field. Got a little wild, a little crazy there at the end, but otherwise a great race. And now we turn our focus, in the truck series at least, to Bristol Motor Speedway.
Bristol, another great short track. The short track that runs like a super speedway.
Yeah, so we got Bristol next week, but here at Talladega we had another fun and exciting one. 200 miles of great racing action. Ryan Chapman bringing home the victory. I appreciate everybody tuning in, hanging out with us. Remember, Monday night we'll be at Darlington Raceway for the throwback race. We've got some great throwback schemes. Yeah, we got some great throwback schemes to show you on Monday. Looking forward to that as well. A long race for Darlington as well, and you'll be in that, Richie. So you better hydrate.
Yeah, I got to hydrate. I got to hydrate with some Victory Fuel days beforehand.
Absolutely. And then next Wednesday night, we'll be back in the truck series, the Sim Racing Points truck series. And like I said, we'll be at Bristol for that week. So looking forward to a great race at Bristol as well. New shiny new Bristol to show off. And so I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun tonight. I hope everybody watching had fun. We'll have some more fun on Monday night. But for everybody here at Full Throttle TV, for Richie Coy hanging out with me tonight, having a good time. And
yes, sir.
I guess we'll see you next Monday night at Darlington Raceway.